What is going on, everybody? This is S Trades, and in today's video we're going to go over the best entry model. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now, before I start going into all the technicals and stuff, an entry model is simply just that last trigger point in your strategy to pretty much signal you, okay, this is the time to enter in this current trade. So that is definitely not the most important thing. That's why I want to clarify beforehand, right? The entry model is the very, very last thing. However, a good entry model is going to make things super easy. It's going to eliminate all the guesswork in terms of when do I enter? Do I enter off of this? Do I wait for a pullback? Things like that. That's why entry models are there for, to pretty much remove that hesitation and just for you guys can have some very clear and concise way to enter in a trade. Now, there are many entry models. There's market structure shifts, there's CISDs, there's inversion fair value gap, there's SMTs, there's the candle body closures and things like that. There's a lot of the entry models out there, right? And to be honest, you could pretty much use anything. However, with this entry model, it will pretty much eliminate so much of the guesswork, so much of the hesitation, and it works majority of the time if you use it correctly, the way I'm going to explain in this video. Now, what is the entry model that I'm talking about? It is inversion fair value gaps. Yes, I know a lot of people use inversion fair value gaps already. People use it pretty mechanically. People use it discretionary. People use it, in so many different ways. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the way I use inversion fair value gaps, which makes me have over 70% win rate, which might not seem very impressive to you at the moment, but 70% win rate over, multiple years of backtesting and multiple years of data is actually very good. And I'm being realistic. I'm not going to throw you something like, oh, I have a 95% win rate, I have a 99% win rate, because that is cap. And whoever's going to tell you that they have that win rate are capping and just probably selling you a course or trying to get your money somehow in some shape or form. But anyways, let's stop the yap and let's get straight into the chart. So to start off with, before going into the inversion fair value gaps, you guys have to understand what is a fair value gap, right? So fair value gap is simply just a 3 candlestick pattern formation, right? When you have 3, let's say, bullish candles, right? Or it could be a bearish candle over here. Doesn't really matter the sequence. As long as there's 3 candles and that middle candle has this big gap that the wicks don't intercede with each other, and this leaves off of this gap, right? So this is called the fair value gap, also known as imbalance, inefficiencies. People use different terms for it. But that's pretty much all the fair value gap is. Now, how does a fair value gap work, right? Pretty much anytime you would form a fair value gap, right, you would expect something like price to come down to the fair value gap and then eventually kind of respect it and push back up higher. And this would be your kind of level of what's called a P array, right? Something for it to bounce off of. So that's kind of how fair value gaps are used. However, with inversion fair value gaps, as you guys could probably tell in the name, is when a fair value gap gets inverse, right? So when a regular fair value gap kind of tells us, where price can bounce off of, we could use fair value gaps as high time frame P arrays, right? That's kind of part 1 for my strategy, right? So when we use fair value gaps as a P array, inversions, we use it as entry models and to see where price invalidates a certain inefficiency, right? So what does inversion fair value gap tell us? Scenario like this, right? Let's say you have 3 candlestick pattern formation and an uptrend, right? Like I said, this doesn't have to be all 3 green candles. So let's say let's make this a red candle, right? It could even be this, right? So what would be in this scenario considered as an inversion fair value gap, right? So for an inversion to happen, right, a body closure has to happen, right, below this gap, right, below this inefficiency, below this fair value gap. Once the body ends up closing below this fair value gap, this is now what's called an inversion fair value gap. And what this means is price pretty much invalidated this bullish fair value gap, which means price could now potentially go lower. It could retrace a little bit and then send price lower. So that's all inversion fair value gap is. Now, why is this such a good entry model? Reason being, when you put this together with my certain criteria that I'm going to mention in a second, it makes almost entry models be very high win rate. And a lot of the times people kind of just use inversions everywhere they see it. So that's the thing with inversions and regular fair value gaps. They happen everywhere, every single time, every single second, every single minute, right? They happen on 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. They happen literally on every time frame, right? So you cannot be using them like just randomly, right? You have to pair an inversion fair value gap with a narrative, right? Which is what this video is about, right? You wouldn't necessarily see this pattern over here and just be like, oh, well, this is a valid short, for example, right? Because now we close below this bullish fair value gap, right? We got this inversion, right? Now let me just go and enter short, right? No, this could be just like a simple 1 minute, pattern in like a 15-minute gap, you know what I mean? So do not pattern trade these inversions. However, we're gonna now go into what would be considered as a good inversion fair value gap. The first thing that you would guys need is some sort of a high time frame PD rate. So this trade right here, if you're bearish, right, and you want to take shorts, and for you to be considered taking this entry model as a short, like I said, you have to have a body closure below this gap, right? Again, before, I didn't mention it earlier, but this wouldn't count, right? If the body closes somewhere over here, or if it closes near it, right, this still does not count as an inversion. It has to fully close, right? And the time on the right, like the candle has to close, right? So for example, if this is a 5-minute fair value gap, right, this candle on the 5-minute chart has to close, not on a 1 minute, right? If you go down to like a 1 minute and you see that the 1 minute closed below this fair value gap, this still doesn't count, right? Because this highest time frame fair value gap in this current leg is a 5-minute, right? So the 5-minute gap has to close on the 5-minute time frame, right? So let's say this is a 5-minute body, right? And then boom, this 5-minute ends up closing. Now this is considered as a valid inversion fair value gap, right? Now for you to pair this with something else would be very, very high probability if there was some sort of liquidity or some sort of fair value gap to the left, right? This also is known as higher time frame PD raise, which is again part of my strategy, right? So what you would want to see is some sort of liquidity getting swept, right? So you would always want to pair your inversions with some sort of a narrative. And when I'm talking about narrative, this is what I'm saying, right? Either liquidity or fair value gaps, right? So this could be anything from previous day. This could be anything from previous day high. This could be previous session high. This could be like a very prominent data high, data low, or a prominent high and low, maybe like a 930 high, 930 low, right? So this could be liquidity points, right? And then the other part could be fair value gaps, right? So for example, if price comes up over here, right, and then there's some sort of a fair value gap in this leg, right? This could be a 1 hour fair value gap. This could be 15-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour daily, right? Something along those lines, right? Now, when I'm talking about high time hyperpedia rates, especially with fair value gaps, it has to be anything above a 15-minute, right? So it could be 15-minute gap, 30-minute gap, hour gap, 4-hour, right? Daily, so on and so forth. Sometimes you could also use a 5-minute gap as a high time hyperpedia rate if you're really, really strong, like bullish or bearish, right? You could use those too, but ideally I would want to see something higher than a 5-minute, right? So then boom, you have either a fair value gap or liquidity, or even both, right? If there's both, for example, if we sweep a 930 high, right, and then we tap into like a 1 hour fair value gap, this is even better. This is like A++ now, right? So now once you have this narrative, right, that's step number 1. Step number 2 would be to have some sort of liquidity, also known as your draw liquidity, below to target, right? You wouldn't want to just randomly take something and there's like nothing to target. Like it wouldn't make sense for you to short up here, right? Something below where you're trying to take profit at, your profit target has to make sense. It has to have, again, some sort of narrative, right? So something like previous day low over here, right? It could be like an unfilled 15-minute gap over here, right? Something along those lines, right? Either some sort of a fair value gap, some sort of a very, very obvious key point, like maybe data low, 930 low, maybe like low resistance liquidity, things like that. So these are the 2 main steps that you guys would want to see. This would be considered as a very good inversion fair value gap because it's not like a random candlestick pattern formation that we're just getting randomly on just anywhere, right? We're having narrative behind this trade, right? We have some sort of a PD array getting tapped into, right? We have a previous day high getting taken. That also taps into the 1 hour, right? It doesn't have to be both. It could be either or, but just for this scenario, we kind of gave both, right? Now, we had the highest time frame inversion, which is the 5-minute in this scenario, right? This would be a 5-minute fair value gap, right? And then this is the highest time frame in this, like there's nothing else above a 5-minute, right? So this 5-minute gets closed below. That's valid, right? And now we have unfilled targets, right? We have a data low and we have 15-minute below. So now we have obvious draws on liquidity, right? We have an obvious manipulation into this previous day high and tap into the 1 hour. We have the highest time frame inversion and we have a very obvious draw on liquidity, like I said, right? And if you guys could see my checklist down below, this is what my criteria for an entry model is all the time, right? Do I have a high time frame fair value gap or a sweep? Do I have an unfilled target? Is this the highest time frame inversion? And is time aligned? That's the last step, right? Is time aligned, right? If this is happening at like 12, 12:30, or like freaking 4 o'clock, like you wouldn't want to take something like that, right? You would want to see something in the kill zone, something in the time frames that are very high likely to work out. So something like the New York AM session from 9:30 to 11, that's kind of where you would want to see this strategy work out, right? Now let's take a look at some of the actual real life examples. All right, so taking a look at 2 examples all happen in the same day, right? These are perfect scenarios, just like I said, with my specific entry model, right? So what do we have here, right? We have open 9:30 open, come up high, right? Manipulate into this 1 hour fair value gap, right here. We have this unfilled 1 hour fair value gap, right? So we're having something as a high time frame fair value gap in this leg. We also sweep out this 5 a.m. high, right? in this little high right here. So we sweep a few highs, and we have a high time frame tap, which is the 1 hour, right? Do we have anything below? Yes, we do. We have this pre-market low as an obvious drawn liquidity. So now taking a look at an actual entry model, right? We have a high time frame fair gap tap, right? We have an obvious drawn liquidity over here. Now, what is the highest time frame inversion in this leg, right? So now there is a 30-second in this leg, right? But before I get to that, what do we have here, right? Price ends up tapping that 1 hour fair gap over here, right? And then whenever you have resweeps, that's even better, right? So we tapped that 1 hour, we ended up resweeping that high that tapped the high time frame fair value gap, right? So once we have those internal sweeps, that's even better. That's something's A++ now, right? So we had that internal manipulation, right? There's a 30-second fair value gap. If you use those, right, you could use that 30-second. However, if you want to just keep it safe, right, the highest time frame in this leg is a 4-minute, right? So you could have just simply waited for this 4 minute to end up closing, right? So as again, in this scenario, the 4 minute ended up closing a little bit too low. You could just easily set a limit order over here, right, on this 4 minute close, and you could have just simply targeted that low because that low will still end up getting intact, right? Nothing got taken out in this leg. So you could have done that. So those two things you could have done in this case, right? You could have either just simply set a limit order on that 4 minute closure, right, and just ride this play out, or you could have just waited that tap over here, right? So the 4 minute, the box that I drew right here, right, as this ended up happening, we had another inversion fair value gap that happened in this leg, right? So there's a smaller inversion in this leg, which is this 1 minute, right? If you guys could take a look over here, right, bang, there's this 1 minute that you could have taken, right? So this 1 minute closure stops at this high, and you're targeting this low, right? So you could have played it either or, right? And then same exact thing, right? What do we have here? Price ends up tapping this 1 hour gap, right, over here, big 1 hour gap. We ended up resweeping that 1 hour gap, which is also a pre-market low, right? Now, what do we have as our targets, right? We have all of this low resistance liquidity got built up, right? All of these stacked highs, right? These relative equal highs over here, right? All this low resistance liquidity as our targets, right? And then what do we have here? So as we got that internal manipulation, now if you guys could take a look over here, we have this 1 minute closure as this line, right? You could have either just simply taken a long at this 1 minute close, right, and then stops below this wick, right, and just targeting all of this. You could have just simply targeted this internal low, internal high, or you could have been a little more brave and targeted that internal, that external high, right, which also ended up getting hit, right? Now, let's say if you for some reason did not like this 1 minute, you could have also waited for the 5 minute closure, right, which is going to be a little bit more on the riskier side because it ended up closing pretty badly, right? It closes very, really high. But you could have also just waited for this closure over here. But this was the highest time frame in this leg, as you guys could see. So you could have just simply taken that 1 minute inversion and took this trade out for a dub, right? So this is pretty much how you take these trades, right? So you guys have narrative, right? You have a high time frame fair value gap or a sweep, right? Either or. It could be, if it's both, it's even better. If you even get internal sweeps in those highs and lows, that's even more better. That's like A++ setup now, right? Now, do you have an unfilled target? This could be low resistance liquidity. This could be fair value gaps. This could be untapped highs and lows, right? And now you're looking at a high time frame inversion fair value gap in that leg, which I just showed you how you guys to do that. And timeline, this was both perfectly timed. This was a 9:40 a.m. Yeah, 9:40 a.m. trade, and then right after that, this was 10:09. So both are in the macro time. Both are super nice in the New York AM session. So that's about it for this video, guys. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. If you guys are, want some more help, join my free Discord. Some also news that are, haven't came out yet. I'm going to be opening up a mentorship soon, right? I'm going to be working on multiple videos for you guys to record. If you guys can't tell, I got a little bit of an upgrade of my setup. So I'm going to upgrade that mentorship. It's going to be private lessons with my students, right? One-on-one calls, coaching calls. You're going to have my number. You can text me anytime, call me anytime about any questions. I can live trade with you guys. I could teach you all you guys. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. I'm going to make some videos and I'm going to talk about it later. But if you guys have any questions about the current video that I made, comment down below and I will see you guys in the next video.